Coach, final week of camp before you head into your game weeks. How's everything looking kind of from a 10,000 foot view?
Yeah, we're 10 days out right now from playing our first game, which is unbelievable. It's exciting, but it's also, as a coach, you feel like you're never far enough along. But I am proud of this team, how they've worked through camp. We've had 3.5 really good weeks. We talked about the last 2 weeks really being grit week. Some tough days, some tough practices. You get to the dog days of camp. And I thought this team really embodied our motto of this year, which is grit. And they showed up for grit week in the right way. And I asked them to trust us in terms of being able to get their legs back as we go into game week here. But we're still 10 days out. I really like where our team's at, but we've still got a lot of work to do. And really, that's got to be our mindset every single week. I say that, probably every single year, but the best teams that I've been on just continue to get better, whether it's week 1, week 2, week 3, just have that mentality to show up and get 1% better every single day. And we've got to do that as a group. But I'm really pleased with how the group has come together with so many new faces, so many new coaches, a new defensive scheme and staff really have come together. And I think we're all working together to really put the best product on the field this year.
How are you feeling about the quarterback position? I'm guessing you're probably not ready to name a starter. Maybe you are, but how are you feeling about that battle shaping up with 10 days to go?
Well, I tell you what, we've got 2 guys who both I feel like could be our starter and start, MAC games for us and quality games. Brady Jones and Brock Lowry have both competed really well. They've been great teammates. They've had a great offseason, but they've carried that over. I think the thing that I'm excited about is they've taken turns making plays and really leading the first team offense efficiently and effectively. And I think that is, going to bode well for us. I think both of those guys can play for us. Really, we had hoped to come out of the second scrimmage, which was last Friday, and name a starter. But I think the race is so tight for us right now. We're going to continue to let the competition and the battle continue to play out. And I think that we feel comfortable playing both guys. I think the plan right now would be we're going to use both guys in some form or fashion. How that is, how many reps each guy gets, who starts the game, I really don't think matters. I think both of them could go out there and start the first series. They're both going to play for us. I believe that. Unless something happens here in the last 10 days. But that's kind of the plan that we're going into in the last week. When we're ready to name an official starter, we'll make that announcement. And I've kind of let those guys know we're going to be open and honest with them. And they've handled it like pros and like men and adults. And they've been good teammates and cheered for each other in this process.
You kind of like that the process went longer than you wanted it to? Like, it's nice to have a starter, but it's also like a good problem to have, sort of thing.
It is a good problem to have. I think I'm in year 1, my first year here, we had 3 guys that were battling, and I think when you have multiple quarterbacks, the hard part is getting the guys enough reps where they feel comfortable going into game reps, and that's always the battle as a coach. And so I felt like we didn't do a good job of that in year 1. I think Coach Bell and our staff, offensive staff, have done a really nice job in this year, making sure that both of those guys are getting quality reps with the ones. And I think that, both of those guys have earned the right to play for us, in games. So it is a good problem to have. It is a problem. And trying to determine who plays when and what play. The good thing is they're both similar, so we don't have to change the offense for either one, but they do each possess something different than the other one does from a skill set standpoint, which allows you to play to their strengths.
Do you feel like Brock gives you, I know situations last year where he came in short yarded situations and he was able to get the first down for you. Do you see that similar type of skill set from him and like those type of things happening on the field this season with what he brings to the table?
I think he's earned the opportunity to be more than that. Honestly, what he showed, especially in the second scrimmage, was he has the ability to lead our first offense. He's really improved in the pass game. His footwork, his accuracy, his ball placement, his anticipation on throws has really increased and really gotten better. So he can lead the offense not only from a running aspect or an athletic standpoint, dual threat, or short yardage goal line. Like, he can operate us in normal D&D situations, which I think is really good. So I think that it's going to really be by series, if I had to guess.
Acclimating a lot of new players, starting in the spring till now. I can't think of a position group more than that's been affected than the wide receivers. It's Terrence, it's Malik Dudon, and it's Cam Hedgecock, and then a bunch of new guys. As a position group, how have they come along so far this fall?
Yeah, I'm really excited about our wide receiver group. You know, I think Coach Perkins has done a really nice job. I think we went out, one, identified, the need for receiver from a slot and outside receiver standpoint in terms of what we were looking for. We went out and got that in the transfer portal. You got Tate Williams, who's going to be a really good player for us. You've got Christian Leary, who's going to be a really good player for us. Egypt Nelson. I tell you, Avion Chenault, our true freshman from Kentucky, signee this year, he has had an excellent camp. He's going to play. And, you mentioned Terrence and Malik and, Cam Hedgecock. Those are three returners that have played really well. But we've got a bunch of guys right now at the receiver position that one can be explosive and then two can help us, which gives us some depth.
How valuable is kind of having different body types at that position? I think Kyle Shanahan talks about he likes to be like a receiver or like a basketball roster in the receiver room with like rebounders and slashers. And like, how valuable is it to have different body types and like be explosive, win jump balls, like all those kinds of things, and just different things you can get to with the receiver position?
Yeah, I think it's very valuable. You don't want a bunch of 5'9" guys like me running around out there, but you also don't need everybody to be 6'5". You need a combination of skill sets. And I think that the more diversity and versatility that you have, the more, especially as a play caller for Walt, it gives you the opportunities to mix guys in, move them around, find different ways to get them the ball in different situations. And I feel like that's where our receiver room has really grown this year, maybe more so than other years, is we've got those unique skill sets where everybody brings something a little bit different. We've got really good slot players. We've got really good outside players. We've got big body, tall, long receivers that can be red zone targets and back shoulder catchers for us down the field threats. So it possesses, it presents something for the defense for them to have to work on, not just having one guy out there or one body type.
How about defensively, with a new coordinator? Is there a position group that's really impressed you through this fall camp?
Yeah, our D-line is different, especially our defensive ends. I think our D-line as a whole, Coach Payne and, Coach Sean Spence have done an excellent job with that D-line and that edge group. Coach O'Leary has brought a different mentality to us this year. I'm excited about our defense. I think we're going to be completely different. When you watch us run around and fly around, when you talk to our players on defense, there's a noticeable change, but I think there's a connectedness. And Coach Harbaugh talked about that, as he, gave Coach O'Leary praise, was just said he's a connector. And, I think that connectedness, the relationship that he built, he's got high energy, he's got high passion, and that's contagious. It really has been. I think there's an energy and a feel on defense that we can be really good defensively, and it starts up front. So I'm excited about our defensive end and defensive line group.
How are you feeling health-wise going into 10 days? Obviously some time for guys to get healthy from whatever sort of nagging things. Anybody you're kind of worried about going into the season or feeling generally okay about things?
Yeah, I think that's always the balance as a head coach. When you get to this 10-day mark, right, you're still trying to sharpen the axe and really work on yourself. You're not truly in game week where we're preparing for Michigan State. We'll do that as we get, a week out like a normal game week. So how do you work on yourself and continue to get better and keep that physicality, but also prevent the injuries, and so that you have everybody healthy on game day? Listen, there's a couple of guys banged up. We anticipate to have almost everybody back healthy for our Michigan State game, and we hope we can go in there with a full clip.
Nothing like long term into the season you're really worried about at this point?
I'm not.
How about Tate? Obviously that was a big story, coming out of Mac Media Day, but for him to, go back home, obviously you came in with him, you recruited him, one of the first ones, so just how special do you think that's going to be, for him to go back home and that moment for him?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really special moment for Tate. I'm really proud of Tate. One, he's had an excellent camp. I think he and Coach O'Leary have really connected, and Coach O'Leary's been great for his growth and development. But also Tate has put in the work. He loves to work hard. He loves to be a great leader. He wants to do things the right way, and he's really accelerated his growth and maturity in this defensive system and under Coach O'Leary. So I think that's been a great marriage there and a great match. Those two have been, thick as thieves from day one, and that's been really good. I'm trying to temper, Tate's emotions right now because I know that that's going to be an emotional game for him. I've had one opportunity, when I was at Notre Dame, we played Alabama in the college football playoffs in 2020. And I know for me, just as a coach, it's different when you go back and you play your alma mater and somewhere you've been. So as a player, I know Tate's going to be, he's an emotional guy anyway. Trying to talk to him about handling those emotions the right way, not getting too high or too low. because I think that's human nature. But I know he's going to bring his best. I know he wants this one. It means a lot to him. He'll have a lot of tickets that he'll have to get for Spartan Stadium, which will be exciting for him. But there will be no lack of energy or want to or motivation on his part for that one.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yep.